Good morning. If the 15th is 15th of August, and yes, is the summer is on the sort of second half, going towards September, and then well, we all know what happens then. But this is our monthly allotment tour. So welcome everybody, and I hope you will join us to watch this. So I'm just going to switch to show you around. There's been quite a few changes in the sense that things been planted and replanted, and we lost things and we gained things. So just to quickly show you around what's happening in August. So we are here by the polytunnel end of the allotment, and in there well, we have some tomatoes ripening. These are the only tomatoes I have now, because the rest of the tomatoes have fallen to a late blight, and I'm not alone there. And we still have, although not very healthy looking, but we still have some aubergines coming. So I've been harvesting aubergines for quite a while now, and you know, we still have them coming, so that's good. I've got to feed them today, I think. What else interesting is happening? Well, I think we have some melons, and you can see on the palm of my hands, they're not massive, and I will kind of tie them up, but there is more than one. As I've seen another one. Nigel says about 4, so I believe him. But I won't look for them because we haven't got the time for that today. So this used to be onion and garlic bed, which was not very successful, and then we had lettuces and mizunas here, and now we have leeks, and some of them are doing really well. I mean, maybe some were better quality seedlings than others. I mean, look at that one, comparing to some others which are not as strong. And the varieties might be completely mixed, because I sown 4 different varieties. By the time it was time to plant them, all the labels dissolved, and the writing dissolved on the wooden labels, and I have truly no idea what's what. So these are my beans bed, and we're now harvesting French beans and runner beans, and the white fabric there is just covering some. I put some more peas in, hoping that we might get 3rd harvest of peas, and my previous attempts, unfortunately, something's eaten them. So as you can see, plenty of runner beans, and we started harvesting mainly the dwarf beans, but I think there is even some Berlotti bean here, which Nigel confused with the normal beans and started picking them up as well. We ate them. So these are the normal sort of green beans, and there is some purple dwarf ones which have some beans on them. So this bed is now uncovered, and is the mainly celery and celeriac bed. There's some bits of spinach left, but I just don't have energy to process it. And as you can see, the celeriac is really bulbing out, and probably this one is even better visible, because it's really starting. And this is celery next to it, and this is celery as well, so it's a mixed bed. This bed, let me stand back a bit. So we had very lovely onions here early on, and then I replanted that with peas. So this is blowshocker, just coming to start forming pods and the peas inside. And this is yellow dwarf bean, and I can tell you it's starting to be full of little beans, so very soon we will be harvesting these. Let's just have a look. Yes, so that's, and I will find which variety it is, because I did note that on the video when I was sowing them a few weeks ago. So this is still the flower bed and is going really nicely. I mean, the Verbena bonariensis and verbascum is looking just fantastic, and I've got some beautiful, and I think these have been given by family, by Nigel's daughter-in-law. These cosmos, well, I can't remember what they called, but they're just beautiful. The double cosmos, and then I have the white cosmos. I just started flowering, and I just have to show you that because it's looking absolutely stunning, especially with the background of Verbena bonariensis and those big pink dahlias in the background there. So what we have right in front of us, well, in front of us we have a bed which was last year beetroots, I think, and onions and all sorts. And this year we have peppers. So these are peppers citrina, and they starting yellowing because that's what the color they need to be. So they all have fruit, and quite a reasonable amount of fruit, considering they were decimated at some point. And these next to them, these are lovely, and this is long yellow ringo, so they now about 20 centimeters long. I hope there's not gonna be long till they're gonna start changing color to yellow. And it's loads to more to come on various bushes here, so we've done okay with these. This is just a little bit of lettuce Nigel sown here the other day. So behind me, or I just turn around now, this is a bit worrying. We had tomatoes here and they did catch the blight. So I've waited a few days and I replanted with purple sprouting broccoli. And the broccoli is okay, it's just they've been decimated by obviously the white cabbage butterfly larva, so I'm gonna give them a little, sort of. I leave them because last year I had similar situation. Some of them might recover, some of them might not. And in the meantime, I'm gonna sow a replacement for them. So as you can see, these are the giant Russian sunflowers, and they look very big. And this is my mixed bed of beetroot and celeriac and celery and dill and some root parsley. Have a look at that root parsley. I'm going to be having a good look at those. So there are different varieties of different beetroots here. The beetroots are bulbing up really nicely. I know it's difficult to show, but they are really nicely bulbing. I planted them in a kind of 3-4 seeds together, and when I move the dill, that bed smells just divine. So some autumn fruiting raspberries just coming again to. There's lots of bees. I'm hoping these are my girls, or maybe they're bumblebees. I can't see from. Oh no, they are honeybees all over my raspberries. Autumn flowering. I haven't got very many because last year I planted 20 and they just didn't take. It was just too difficult for them. So these are the summer flowering, and I have to say I pruned them incorrectly. I pruned them all. We had no early raspberries, but I'm going to leave these, and hopefully next year we'll have a glut. So this is the last of the raised beds here, and we've got chilies here mainly, and some California Wonder peppers, and they have gone slightly rogue on me. They've gone black, some of them. but we will see what's going to happen. But these are mainly Hungarian hot wax, and they looking absolutely fantastic. I mean, they really are. Loads and loads of fruit, and behind them they are jalapeno, and although it's not as prolific, they also quite nice. So I know definitely that Hungarian hot wax is something which is going to return next year. Jalapenos with the judgment that is reserved. Long yellow ringo and citrina peppers definitely. So as we're going to turn around gently here. So what we've got here, I've got a couple of dying tomatoes here. I need to sort that out. These are the tumbling toms, which obviously didn't do brilliantly in those pots. But I've got some blueberries, although we didn't have masses of harvest. They've put enormous amount of growth on them. And this blueberry, actually, we will pick few blueberries today. There's quite a few of them hiding amongst the leaves. So as I said, once I mulch them with some ericaceous compost, they should be stronger and probably cropping better next year if they don't get the sort of late frosts. There is some parsnips here, and I should really thin them again. And some carrots which definitely need thinning, and that's the soft fruit bed which is now uncovered. Some more parsnips which growing better because there's fewer of them, and some carrots in another one. And what I'm really pleased about is this bed of this lavender hedge, which is buzzing with lots of insects, mainly bumblebees, but I've seen odd honeybee on them, and also I will be harvesting that and putting next year in my smoker once it's dry. So what else we've got here? So we've got perpetual spinach and some more of the Attica root parsnip, and this is 3 radicchio. Let's have a look how that is going to grow. I never grew radicchio before. And in this bed we've got mainly Swiss chard and some parsley, and I will need to sort it out because I think this sunflower has fallen over and broke. So as we're coming out of the original allotment where the chickens used to be, here's my not very good first attempt at growing sweet corn, but I had one and it was actually really nice. So I will clear that up shortly. We've cleared it up, all the volunteer potatoes here and so on. I will pot these raspberries later on and plant them in a new space for them. And we've sown a few things here, I think. Oh no, I can tell you what that is. That is self-seeded, so it's very uneven. This is self-seeded nasturtiums, and I might just leave that bit for a complete wild thing of nasturtiums, because not nasturtiums, I beg your pardon, these are not calendula, yes, calendula. Well, I tell you what it is, but it's been lovely this year, and I harvested some for my soap making hobby, and I might just leave them to let them be. So I might not be planting in this corner. So some lovely fruit on these on this thornless blackberry which we planted last year. That was probably the best out of the 3 we've planted. We've planted Tieberry, Loganberry, and nothing has fruited as well as this or spread. We will need to put some support for the Loganberry and Tieberry because they are trying, and I think trimming them back, and I don't think they like that very much. So to the extended part of the allotment. So next year under this plastic, that's where actually the courgettes will be and cucumbers. I think we're going to send pumpkins right by the hedge there, because they just take completely everything over. So my cukes here, oh, loads of cucumbers. I will have to harvest some today because we don't want them to. I'm gonna I can just see, look, there's cucumbers everywhere, massive cucumbers lying down. I don't know if I'll be able to show you. Look, just move down. Cucumbers everywhere. And this is the different cucumber. This one is the kind of white looking one, and I have a feeling this is the Chengelkoi. Chengelkoi, look, which I bought seeds from, real seeds. Oh, hello, bumblebee. So we will limit the amount of pumpkins and courgettes next year. I think I've got 2 pumpkins and I really don't know which ones they are. I don't know if you'll be able to see, but the pumpkins have gone all the way to by the tree. So I'm hoping for some nice surprises later on. But it's been a learning curve with them. Last year I grew them in contained raised beds and we could manage, and this year they just completely went out of control. So here is the rest of the raised beds here, and this is our second attempt at the sweet corn, and I'm hoping to be a better one. I'll update you later. The asparagus beds, they turned out really well. What I've got here then, because I planted in the soil which was already supposed to be something different growing, and I sown the carrot seed. Let's just have a look. These are my little Paris market carrots, which I will harvest today for roast vegetable tray. I have some people coming for dinner tomorrow. So this is one of the beds. They're not very deep, so they won't disturb the asparagus roots. And lovely dahlia, again, we'll be harvesting some of that for the table. And these are the potatoes beds. So what happened in potatoes beds? We have bed of leeks. These planted a little bit later. These planted about a week, maybe 10 days earlier. They've done better. But we will persevere with everything. So these are my leeks. And in this bed, I've got mixture of things. So we've got some leeks. In the middle, I've got 4 artichokes. And in between artichokes, we planted, I can see here, carrot. And that is, I think, beetroot. That's the yellow beetroot. And the stripy one. And the red beetroot. So this is all coming up as well. So we will thin, we see what is going to come up and we thin accordingly. So this is the second asparagus bed, and we're just clearing it off from the remainder of the lettuce which was there. So I might pop in one morning and just clear that up. It's doing okay. It's not as maybe, but there are different varieties of asparagus, so it's difficult to say. So this is the space when we're going to plant. Nigel cleared it up at the greatest expense because the ants attacked him several times. This is where the Christmas potatoes will go. And going back, these used to be the main crop potatoes, and I've planted some more. There's some cabbages. And again, the same story. They had the larvae, they had the eggs, they had the larvae. I will let them fight their own battle. I cleared it all up. I might give it another clean sometime next week. And just see, last year things did recover. This year we will see. I will sow some more seeds. Some Romanesco broccoli. And again, beautiful dahlias, which I will harvest for the table, because it's a shame, especially when they're falling down like that. So we need to do something about it. and we don't want them lying on the floor. What else we've got here? So obviously the herb bed's gone a little bit wild now. The big white tray in the middle is actually, we're gonna have a look if our bees are honey bound. We might have to harvest some honey today, which is not ideal, but we will have a look. And the strawberries are doing really well. Needs weeding, and they need obviously cutting off all these seedlings. The rhubarb has been, yes, it's okay. Still few weeds here and there and everywhere, but it's basically managed to fight for the space. And these are my colettes, flower sprouts, whatever you call them. Well, they just enormous. I've got, so we've got some cabbage heads just starting to sort of form, and as always few things go into seed and few things still sprout, still harvestable. I can see these are the purple sprouting broccoli already harvested, and they're just having more sprouts, so I might do that. And I'm not quite sure which ones were the perpetual ones, because these might be them, but they haven't had anything yet, but that's okay, we can wait. And there is some more cabbage heads, different cabbage heads, and these are the kales and kohlrabi, which always look very attractive, although very weedy. So that's about it. I believe Nigel have made some path to the other side, and here is the apiary, which we're going to be concentrating in a minute. Just checking up if the colony on the right, which is swarm, somebody collected and we agreed to take them on, if they actually are capable of surviving winter. If she's gonna make winter bees, and if they have enough stores and so on. And we just check our original hive if they are honey bound before we won't be able to inspect them for 10 days or so. So that's it really from us this weekend. I do hope you have a good one, and that you join us next week. And I think next week I might do a little video about my home garden and the pond and how things are looking there. So I'll see you perhaps next week. Bye for now.